Hello, Rish. Seachtain Trocadó, week 32 of mental maths, and this is the Monday test. Question 1, 7 million, take away 700,000, 6,300,000. So write them out one above the other. Make sure that that 7 here is underneath that first 0. And then you can't go wrong. Question number 2, 25 is 5 squared. Question number 3, okay, 1 divided by 0.1. Hard to figure that one out until you multiply both sides by 10. Do you remember? Whenever there's a decimal point here, you got to multiply both numbers by 10 to clear that decimal point. So then you got 10 divided by 1. That's much easier. 10 divided by 1 is 10. So there's the same number of of ones in 10 as there are 0.1s in 1. And once you understand that, it's an easy question to do. Question number 3, 24 divided by 1/3 is the same as 24 multiplied by 3. Question 5. Write a numeral 10,512,015. There you go. 10,512,015. 8% of 10 euros is 80 cents. What's the place value of the 4 in 2.4 million? This is interesting because this is the kind of thing you can see in newspaper articles or in the news or in many places. You hear people talking about 1.5 million, 6.3 million, whatever. You have to understand that the 2 is the millions, and that makes the number after 4 400,000. Okay, so you'll often see numbers written like that. That's all it means. If you were to write it out in full, it would be 2,400,000. Question number 8, the total cost of 6 drinks is 720. Average cost of 1 drink is 720 divided by 6, that's 120. How many degrees in the inside angle between the hands of a clock displaying 9 o'clock? Well, the big hand goes up to 12. Small hand goes to 9, so it's 90 degrees. Question number 10, take the composite numbers. Now, a composite number is a number that has more factors than just 1 in itself. A prime number has only 2 factors, 1 and itself. So like 7, for instance, is a prime number. You can only divide it by 1 and by 7. So the composite number here are 15, which is divisible by 3 and 5, as well as 1 and 15. 21, which is divisible by 3 and 7. 27, which is divisible by 3 and 9. And the other 2 are prime numbers. Don't forget, 1 is neither a prime number nor a composite number, so it's important to remember that. Question 11, 80 multiplied by 30 is the same as 24 divided by y. So y equals what? Well, 80 multiplied by 30 is 2,400. So it's 24 multiplied by 100. Question 12, 4 over 5 plus 2 and 4 over 5. You just add them together because the 5 down the bottom, that's fine. So you don't have to change anything. So it's 2 and 8 over 5. But you can't leave it as 2 and 8 over 5. So that changes to 3 and 3 over 5. Draw to show a 270-degree rotation clockwise. 270 is 3/4. So 3/4 of a turn clockwise. And actually, if you think about it, that's the same as just 90 degrees or a 1/4 turn anti-clockwise. So if you think of it that way, just flip this one way, 1/4 that way. Or if you want to do it properly, 3/4 around that way. You'll end up with something like this. Question 14. Round 15.6073 to 3 decimal places. You look at the 4th decimal place. It's 3, which is smaller than 5. That means you don't round up. That means it stays at 7. It doesn't go down to 6. Never skip down past the lower one because you have to go to the closest one. The closest, if you just look at that number, is 73. The closest 10 to 73 is 70, isn't it? So you're not going to go down to 6. You're going to stay at 7. So it's 15.607. Question 15. Write the formula to work out the area of a rectangle. Area equals length multiplied by width. If you put down width multiplied with length, that's fine as well. Question 16. 1,000 multiplied by 0.001 is just 1. Tick which would be better to weigh a banana. Probably the kitchen scales would be a better bet because it's dealing with smaller gradations and the weight of a banana is quite small. Number 18, what's the volume of the fish tank? It's length by width by height to get volume. So it's 160,000 centimeters cubed or cubic centimeters. 50 multiplied by 40 multiplied by 80. Question 19, 0.7 is less than 8 over 10. Well, 8 over 10 is 0.8. So you're really asking, is 0.7 less than 0.8? Of course it is, that's true. Question 20, if there are 116 yen, this is a symbol for the Japanese yen, to €1, how many euro would you get for 580 yen? So you have to ask yourself, how many 116s are there in 580? There's 5. If you actually look, if you were to do a masticon here, like this is just over 100, this is over 500, nearly 600, so your answer is going to be 1 or 6 or 5 or 6, isn't it? But actually, if you look, and these are like the questions that we had before, if you're kind of guessing what the last digit going to be. You got 16 here. 16 by 5 is 80, because 16 by 10 is 160, and half of that then is 80. So if you look at these things, you'll probably see that there's a fairly straightforward relationship. So it's 5 times anyway. Problem solving for Monday. What percentage is colored yellow? Okay, so there's 6.5 of the 10 blocks is yellow. So that's 6.5 out of 10. That's 65%. And then what percentage of colored blue is 35%, 3.5 of 10.